Mastering Mixology has been greenlogged, and you can greenlog it to including potion storage in easily under 15 hours with the information in this guide. Jagex has made an update to this minigame once again so that when you hand in multiple potions, you receive more points. If you hand in 2 potions, you get 20% more points. If you hand in 3, you get 40% more points. This has changed the methods and made all other guides largely irrelevant. So we're going to go over in this video what's changed and what are the best methods. First, the refiner, there is technically one change with it. If you didn't know already, you can use herbs or unfinished potions here to get the paste here that you need in the mini game. In terms of what you can use for the mini game, you can look at this for reference. If you're a main, use the ones with the stars, which are less GP per element given. If you're an Iron Man, these are the ones you typically have a lot of. But Iron Man, you can use Lantadine and Herlander if you'd like. But in my opinion, the ones that I marked are the best. Now, when making the paste, because we're getting more points when we hand in a potion, we effectively need way less paste than we needed before. I've kind of done some rough estimates of how much paste you needed before versus after. So in release, this is kind of what you needed for each of them. The first update made it less because of the way they changed the point structure. And now with this update with the bonus points, it's even less. So overall, I would say you need about 45,000 life, 40,000 mox, and 35,000 aga, give or take. You might be thinking to yourself that because you hand in 3 potions and you get 40% more points, that it's just beneficial to always hand in 3 potions. Handing in 3 potions is very strong, but if you were to just blindly do that on all your orders, you actually end up with a pretty low amount of points overall. I tested about 9 different methods in 10 plus hours, and I've determined exactly which ones I believe are the best methods you can use. From those methods, I've chosen 3 methods I believe are the best ones you can use. I chose them first and foremost because they give the most amount of points and the most amount of lie points. Those are the most important factors. The other factors to keep in mind are if they're simpler than some of the other competitive methods, then it just makes sense to do the simpler one. And then the last thing I want to bring up is some methods will give you a better distribution between lie, mox, and aga by restricting the amount of aga you get because you will always have too much aga. That being said, if you do that, you'll end up getting usually less lie and mox anyways, so it makes sense to just take the surplus of aga if it's going to give you more lie and mox. It will shorten the amount of time you need to get the rewards at the cost of having an imbalance of points. Now that you have your paste, you can come to Hopper and deposit it, but before you do that, please download the Mastering Mixology plugin. It is amazing. I don't have it turned on, but if I turn it on now and I walk in and out, the big thing that it does is at the top, it shows you what elements you need for each potion. It breaks down the acronyms automatically, so instead of having to read anti-leech lotion, you have ALL. Obviously, you'll learn the potions over time, but this makes it very easy. I've come here and I've ground markered my potions here, or my tiles here, so that you can see MAL, so I just click. I'm going to make these 3 potions. So this plugin will also highlight the table that you need to go to based on what's at the top of your inventory. If I were to move this, for example, it would switch. That just makes all these methods work really well. So if we come to this table, there's also ways to speed up the progress. With this one, you're waiting for 5 pumps and then clicking, or with this, with the plugin, you're waiting until it turns green. Yay! This one here, you just spam click to speed up the progress. And this last one here, you're waiting for an audio visual cue or when it turns green. There's a bonus tip here though. If you click twice, kind of like one tick after the other, click, click, it's going to speed up the rest of the progress. This is a bug, it might be fixed, but let's see if we can do it here. Click, click, and you see it kind of finished that one quickly. Then we hand the potions in. There is a golden rule with all 3 methods I'm about to show. When a Mix-a-Lot potion shows up in your order, you are making all 3 potions, regardless. Mix-a-Lot potions give you a ton of points compared to other potions. So, handing in 3 potions is boosting that by another 40%. It ends up being a lot of points. On top of that, digweeds are going to spawn in the corner every so often when you complete orders. Always grab those and add them to your Mix-a-Lot potions to boost your points even further. Let's show off the first method. Gives you a lot of points, but the big allure here is it's very simple. All you need to do is make every single potion except for the AAA potion. Very, very simple. You'll get a good amount of points doing this method. The downside to this method though is there's no variation of points between mox and lie, so you're going to end up with a similar amount there. Ideally, we want to focus more on getting lie potions, but this method is going to give us still a good amount of lie and not give us too much aga. So turn that in, and we can see here we got a AAA. We're not going to make that, so we're just going to make ALL twice. Hand in, There we go. We got double A again. No problem. All we're going to do is make the lip black liquor here. 1, 2, 3. And we'll hand that in and we'll be done. The second method is very similar to the first method. It's just adding one more thing. So you're not going to make triple A, and you're also not going to make triple M. If both of them show up in the order, obviously you're going to make triple M over triple A. So here we got triple M in the order, but we ran into the golden rule, which is a mix-a-lot is in the order. We make all three. Let's hand it in and see how many points we get for this. We have all three. Let's hand it in. Okay, 56, 42, 56. Very, very good. With this order, we just got to make the top and the bottom one, and we don't make the triple M. Very simple. This method overall, I would say, is a little bit better than the first method for a couple reasons, but it does have a few downsides. What does make it better is we're going to be going through more orders per hour because now there's 2 potions we're not making. Going through more orders is a good thing in terms of getting more favorable potions and getting more digweed bonuses because it's based on how many orders you're turning in. We're also getting rid of a low value potion here for us. It's low value for 2 reasons. One, it's a single element potion. Single element potions are less points than a double element potion. Of course, a triple, which is mix-a-lot. And it's also an MMM potion. MMM potion, we mentioned before, we have an equal amount of mocks to lie. We didn't need an equal amount of mocks to lie from the first method. This is getting rid of some extra mocks we don't need. This method has 2 small downsides we'll quickly mention. First thing, because we're cutting out another potion compared to the first method, it's going to be slightly less likely that we're handing in 2 or 3 potions. There are going to be more times we're going to hand in 1 or 2 potions. That's going to affect our boosted points, our bonus points, and ultimately what that affects most is our use of our paste. We're going to need slightly more paste because we're getting less free points. So we're going to have to spend a little bit more time refining and a little bit more on herbs. The second downside is that while this method helps to balance the points between Mox and Lie a little bit more, the difference between Mox and Aga is a lot smaller. We're almost making the same amount between the two. You are still making a little bit more Mox though, because when you get an order that has MMM and AAA, you're gonna make MMM over it, but overall you're not getting a great distribution compared to at least this next method. But I would still say you should generally do this method over the first method unless you absolutely need the mocks. And now it's time to talk about the best method, the creme de la crop. This method's a little bit different than the other methods. It's using kind of a different system, and there's a little bit of feeling it out as well. The core of the method is every single order, if you look at the top left here, is composed of 9 letters. We are trying to make 3 potions, and we're trying to count how many L's are in there, how many M's, and how many A's to determine what we should make and what we shouldn't make. We're also trying to make more multi-potions than we are single element potions. There are 2 soft rules with this method. First, we're still avoiding the AAA just like the other methods, but there are some cases where you're going to make the AAA. If it's paired with 2 other great multi-potions that have a lot of L's in them, it makes sense to boost the amount of points you're getting from those by making the extra AAA. Even with taking the extra Aga in, you're getting more Lie over time. So to illustrate that, here's a few examples. With this first example, you're getting so many different L's, it makes sense to get the extra 20% points by making the AAA. Same thing here, 4 L's, yeah, 1 less M, still worth it. Down here, same sort of thing, 3 L's, 2 M's, yeah, there's more A, but that's fine, you'll make up for that. You could just make the bottom 2 here, but I'd probably still make all 3. Here are some examples that are more traditionally like, no, definitely don't make the AAA. Not enough L's here to make it worth it. I would only maybe make one of these potions, maybe the top 2. This one here, even though there's 3 L's, it's a single element potion. It's not a lot of points anyways. It's 20 points. I would probably just make the bottom 2 potions or just the triple L. And then same sort of thing here at the bottom. The best potion here by far is MML. I would probably make the bottom 2 because overall you're getting 2 M's, 2 A's, and 2 L's, which is, you know, you're boosting 20% and you're getting even amount. The next soft rule kind of goes towards the heart of the method, which comes down to like counting the letters in your orders. You're gonna only make 1 potion if there's a lot of A's in your order, like 5+ A's in your order. I've got some examples here. So here, we're clearly only going to make the middle potion. The other 2 potions are triple A's, which we typically avoid anyways, so we're just going to make the middle. Here, there's a ton of A's across the order, so I'm probably just making one of these ALA's, and that's it. Here, I'm probably just making MMA, and that's it. There are going to be cases where there's a good amount of A's, but you're still making 2 or 3 potions because it's paired with good potions, sort of like in the first rule. So here, I think I'm going to make the top 2, right? Arguably the top 3, but probably the top 2 here. There's an argument to be made with this middle one that I would make all 3 potions. You're getting 3 L's, 2 M's, and 4 A's, sort of like the first example. Overall, you're getting more Aga, but you're still getting 3 L's that are boosted. Last one here, again, 3 L's that are boosted. I'm probably thinking about making the top 2 and skipping the AAM because it's not a great potion overall. So let's do some of this method and just pay attention to the amount of points I'm getting every time I turn in an order. With this order, I'm just going to make all 3. 28, 42, 42. So a good amount of live from that one. This order is really not that good, so we're just going to make MMA. This order here, we got 4 L's in here, 4 A's. I'm comfortable with making all 3 here. Look at that, 14, 56, 56 points, which is really good. I'm going to do all 3 here, just because it's a lot of M's, a lot of L's, and nothing else. And we definitely want to boost that Mega Light Lotion. Good, great points there. 42 Mox, 56 Lie, and we don't care about Aga at all. Here we got to mix a lot, so we automatically make all 3. Good points there. Obviously a lot of Aga, but still, 56 Lie, that's kind of the main thing we're looking at there. And 42 Mox is pretty good. And you can see we're making a AAA here. This is an example of AAA making sense. Okay, so that one gave us 56 points in Lie, which is pretty good. Next order, look, AAA again, but this time we're going to avoid making AAA because it's paired with other A's. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 L's. Obviously, we've got the single potions, but with this method, you're spending more time actually making those single potions more often than not anyways. It just ends up being beneficial. There you go, 70 Lie, which is pretty damn good. And that's how you do the method. Hopefully you got a feel for it. You're keeping an eye on the letters. We didn't even get like the great orders where you end up with like 84 Lie or 112 Lie. Those feel amazing. In terms of rewards, I kind of averaged here between all 3 of the methods in the video. So if you go with the faster method, you expect to be closer to the lower end, of course. So you got 2 hours for the goggles, 3 hours for the pouch, an hour and a half for the amulet, under 2 hours for the storage, under 4 hours for the chugging barrel, and just over 2 hours for the outfit. All really reasonable, totaling under 15 hours, clearly under 15 hours. On top of that, you can get 55 Aldarium per hour, which is really good, 41 forward doses from that. But if you get the goggles and the amulet, you can get 48 forward doses from that, which is great. So definitely get those because these are very, very valuable.